After narrowly escaping the Mines of Moria and the loss of Gandalf, Aragorn takes over leadership of the company and leads the company to Lothlorien, where Lady Galadriel welcomes them and furnishes them with nice gifts, and after a brief rest, she gives them boats for them to take down the river to the Falls of Rhoros, where they then have to make the decision of whether they should go with Frodo to Mount Doom, or Boromir to Gondor, or break the Fellowship. Welcome to Breaking of the Fellowship, Part 6 of my Saga campaign. The strategy in this quest is to try to stay as least time as possible on the river, because as soon as you get to stage 2, all enemies have 0 engagement cost, so you'll have to be prepared for a heavy attack. Here are the boons and burdens I've earned so far in my campaign. And I need to choose between these 4 different boons. Each player gets to pick 1 boon. I'm going to choose the 3 golden hairs for the Aragorn deck, for the 300s deck that has hero Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas. And it makes sense to put the 3 golden hairs onto Gimli. And for the Boromir deck, that includes Pippin, Merry, and Boromir, I'm going to choose the Leaf Wrap Limbus. The Leaf Wrap Limbus has a one-time action, and remove it from the campaign pool to ready all heroes in play. And going back to this 3 golden hairs, its ability is each player gets to lower the threat by 3 and draw 3 cards. And the 2 boons I did not pick were the Phial of Galadriel, that remove it from the campaign pool and all enemies engaged with you get -4 attack until the end of the round, and Lorien Rope, that remove it from the campaign pool and each location in the staging area gets -2 threat until the end of the phase. And both the decks are 300s decks, with the contract force of 300s. Your deck cannot include ally cards. Each of your heroes can have 1 additional restricted attachment. Reduce the cost of the first restricted attachment you play on each of your heroes each round by 1. And a refresh action. If each of your heroes has at least 2 restricted attachments, flip this card over. Side B. Each of your heroes can have 1 additional restricted attachment and gets +1 willpower for each restricted attachment on it. Exhaust this card to heal 1 damage to each of your heroes. And the Frodo that I'm going to use during this campaign is Frodo Baggins, and it's got a planning action. Exhaust the 1 ring to add 1 resource to a hero's resource pool. And the tokens I'm going to be using for exhaustion are these pipe tokens. And I'm going to use the ring token to show that I've used Frodo's ability, and the eye to show that the ring is exhausted. Now each deck gets to draw 6 cards. I'm going to keep this deck, or this hand. Only one restricted attachment, so I'm going to, or 2 restricted attachments, so I'm going to take a mulligan. Golden Belt, Fellowship of the Ring, Blade of Gondolin, Foehammer, Gondorian Shield, there's the card I wanted, Dagger of Westerness. The starting threat for the 300s deck is 32, and the Boromir deck is 23. And the Great River set Frodo's Choice, Seeing Stones, and Parith Gals on the side out of play, and add the Argonath and Sauron Gavir to the staging area. We set these aside out of play, and then add to the staging area. Now we shuffle the boons and burdens into the encounter deck. Now side 1B, the Great River. Enemies get +2 defense and cannot be engaged. Skip the encounter phase. Players can't advance while the Argonath is in play. Each hero gets a resource. Draw a card. I'm going to play the Raiment of War onto Gimli. Giving him +1 attack, defense, and 2 hit points. I'm going to put the Dagger of Westerness on the Legolas. And Andriel onto Aragorn. Then I'm going to use Frodo's ability to give Legolas a resource, and then I'm going to put the Rohan Warhorse on the Legolas. Going over to the Boromir deck, draw a card. I'm going to put the Gondorian Shield on the Boromir, giving him 2 defense. Put the Blade of Gondolin onto Pippin. Dagger of Westerness onto Merry. Now we go to the questing phase. We're going to quest Aragorn gets +1 to each of its attributes for Anduril. So we're going to quest for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the staging area has 5. First card, River Anduin. Second card, Wooded Shoreline. So we break even. Now we're going to travel to Sarngabir. And we have to raise our threat by 1 because the River Anduin has a forced effect that if you don't travel to it, you raise your threat by 1. Now we have Archery 2. We're going to put 1 on Legolas and 1 on Gimli. Now we go to the next round. Raise each player's threat by 1. Each hero gets a resource. Draw a card. Ringmail. We're going to put the Fellowship of the Ring onto Frodo. So each hero gets a resource. Willpower. Now we're going to put the Ringmail onto Pippin. And then we're going to put Unexpected Courage. There's for the paying for the Fellowship. Now we're going to put the Unexpected Courage onto Gimli. Going over to the 300 deck, draw a card, Dagger of Westerness. Now we're going to go to the questing phase. We're going to quest for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16. The staging area has a total of 7. First card, Urakai Captain. Second card, Orcs of the White Hand. Remove all damage from each enemy at this stage. Each enemy at this stage gets +1 willpower, or +1 threat, attack and defense until the end of the round. So that added a total of 4 to the staging area, so we're at 11. So that clears Sarn Gavir. Is requested successfully by 5. Puts 1 progress onto the Great River. And it has a force effect that when it's explored, deal 1 damage to each exhausted characters. Well, before we do that, we're going to be doing Aragorn's ability and put 1 progress, reduce the woodland shoreline threat to 0 and put 1 progress on it. So we quested by successfully by 8. Now we're going to travel to the Argonath, and we skip the combat phase, so there's no archery. And we have to raise our threat by 1 for not traveling to the River Anduin. And at the end of the round, we raise our threat. Each hero will get a resource. Draw a card. We're going to put the Dagger of Westernness onto Aragorn. And the Valiant Sword onto Legolas. Now we're going to put a golden belt onto Legolas. Going over to the Boromir deck, draw a card. Blade of Gondolin. We're going to put the Blade of Gondolin onto Merry. Now we go to the quest phase. We're going to quest for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And there's a total of 8 threat in the staging area. First card, another wooded shoreline. Second card, the slopes of Amon Hen. So we added a total of 6 threats to the staging area, but I'm going to play Hands Upon the Bow and exhaust Legolas to destroy. Oh, he's got +2 defense. This would take a total of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So take that back. I'm going to use Aragorn's ability to reduce the wooded shoreline to 0. So now the threat in the staging area is 11. So we quested successfully by 3, clearing the Argonath and putting 1 progress onto the Great River. Now we're going to travel to the River Anduin. And we have Archery 4. We're going to put one onto Aragorn, one onto Gimli, one onto Legolas, and put another one onto Aragorn. Go to the next round, raise each player's threat by 1. The 300 deck has now at least one restricted attachment on each, 2 restricted attachments on each of its heroes. So we get to flip the contract. Now we're going to exhaust the contract to heal 1 damage to each my heroes in the 300's deck. Now each hero gets a resource. Draw a card. Raiment of War. We're going to put that onto Boromir. So he gets plus 1 attack, defense, and 2 hit points. Now we're going to play a golden belt onto Boromir. Going over to the 300 deck, draw a card. Armor Destrier. We're going to put that onto Gimli. Now we're going to go to the questing phase. We're going to quest for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17. And then we're going to, and the staging area has a total of 12. Card 1, a black feathered arrows. Until the end of the round, add 1 to the archery total for each ally currently at the stage. Well, there's no allies in our deck. The Urakai Hunter. When revealed, either choose a player to reveal an additional counter card, or the Urakai Hunter makes immediate attack. The Urakai Hunter is going to make immediate attack, and Gimli's going to block it. No shadow, no damage. Now we're going to play the Hands Upon the Bow. And we're attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. we still don't have enough. Come on. We're going to use Aragorn's ability to clear out the wooded shoreline. Now the threat is a total of 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we quested successfully by 6. So that clears out the River Anduin and puts 1 progress onto the Great River. Yeah, I keep forgetting about the +2 defense. And I'm taking off that extra attack because the enemies now are above my threat. So we have a total of 2 archery. We're going to put 1 onto Aragorn and 1 onto Gimli. Going to the next round. Raise each player's threat by 1. Each hero gets a resource. Draw a card. Silver circlet. We're going to put that on to Aragorn. Now we're going to go over to the 300s deck, draw a card, Dagger of Westerness, and the Boromir deck now has two restricted attachments or more on each character to be able to flip. So we're going to exhaust the contract to heal 1 damage from each hero since we're both flipped. And we're going to put the Dagger of Westerness onto Legolas. Now we're going to quest for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. We're hoping to push through this round. And there's a total of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in the staging area. First card, Urakai Archer. When revealed, discard an ally you control. We have no allies. Card number 2, another Urakai Archer. So we add a total of 4 to the staging area, bringing it up to 15. So we quest successfully by 13. We're going to play hands hands upon the bow now that we have enough to take out. We're going to take out the Urakai archer. And then we ready Legolas because of his Rohan warhorse. Now stage 2, the company divided. Removes the ring bearer and each card attached to it from the game. So now we have to take off 1 willpower from each of our heroes because the fellowship is no longer in play. And now treat the rings text box as blank and reduce each enemy's engagement cost to 0 until the end of the round and skip the travel phase. So we have archery 4. I'm going to put 1 on Aragorn, 1 on Gimli, 1 on Legolas, and 1 on Pippin. We're going to engage the Urakai captain with the Boromir deck. And the Urakai hunter with the 300 stack, and then the Urakai archer engages it naturally. Deal out shadow cards. We're going to block the Urakai archer with Gimli. No shadow, no damage. Now we're going to ready Gimli. With the armor destrier. And remove the shadow card from the Urakai hunter and block it with Gimli. And then ready him with Unexpected Courage. Now going over to the Boromir deck, we're going to block with Boromir. No shadow, no damage. And we have 5 defense to 5 attack, so we take no damage. Now we're going to attack the Urakai archer and destroy it. And now we go to the resource phase. A refresh phase. At the end of the refresh phase, shuffle Seed of Seeing and Frodo's Choice into the encounter discard pile. And put them at the bottom of the encounter deck. And then each player He has to choose a 3A of his choice, and in player order, each player moves one encounter card from the staging area to his own staging area. When there are no encounter cards left at this stage, discard it. Well, with the Boromir deck, it makes schematic sense to pick Guard the Hobbits. And since Aragorn went up to see the Seat of Amon Hen, we'll pick the Seat of Amon Hen. Set the rest side out of play. And now, after stage 2B is discarded, if the total of threat of each encounter card, of the encounter cards is 4 or less, is less than 4, reveal one encounter card. Same text as on each one. So we're going to have the Slopes of Hen is going to the Boromir deck, and the Wooded Shoreline is going to the 300s deck. Now we each have to reveal an additional encounter card because the threat is less than 4. River Anduin and Ill Fate attached to a character. I'm going to attach it to Gimli, and now if a character is destroyed, I have to raise my threat by 2. I gain Surge and another River Anduin. Okay, now we're just going to put this over here. This is going to be for this staging area. And put this over here for this staging area. And now flipping over to side 3B, the benefits that the Seat of Amon Hen has, that after Frodo's choice is revealed at this stage, advance to stage 4A. In response, after you quest successfully, choose a player. That player draws 2 cards and lowers his threat by 2. And Guard the Hobbits. After Frodo's choice is revealed at this stage, advance to stage 4A. Response. After you quest successfully, choose a player. Ready each of that player's heroes. Go to the next round. Raise each player's threat by 1. Each hero gets a resource. Draw a card. Warrior Sword. We're going to attach Warrior Sword to Boromir. Now he's filled up on restricted attachments. Now going over to the 300s deck. Thorngill. Now we're going to exhaust the contract to heal 1 damage off each hero. We're going to wait for the Boromir deck. Then I'm going to play Thorngill. I'm going to attach it to Aragorn. and we get to choose another version of Aragorn and attach it to him. I'm going to be choosing his leadership version that you can use one resource to ready. He quests and you can use one resource to ready him. Now we go to the questing phase. We're going to quest with all our characters from the Boromir deck, and that's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Reveal the card. Growing Threat. Each player moves one enemy engaged with that player to the first player's staging area. Or Growing Threat gains Doom 2 and Surge. So we're going to be move the Urakai captain to the staging area. So we quested successfully. There's a total of 8 in the staging area. And we quested for 12, so we quested successfully by 4. And this stage has a ability that for each card that you quest, each progress you would place on the quest, you discard cards instead. So we discard 4 cards. And now we quested successfully, so we're going to ready each of the heroes in the Boromir deck. And going over to the 300s deck, we're going to quest with Aragorn and ready him. And then quest with Gimli and Legolas. So that's a total of 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And there is a total of 5 in the staging area. Sloths of Em and Hen. So that brings the total up to 8. So we quested successfully by 9. Well, that's a bummer. Had to get rid of Galadriel, the Gildor and Glorian. But we did quest successfully, so we're going to have the $300s deck reduce their threat by 2 and draw 2 cards. Now we're going to travel to the River Anduin. We're going to travel to the River Anduin with the Boromir deck. So now we're going to engage the Urakai captain. And we have archery 2. I'm going to put 1 onto Legolas and 1 onto Aragorn. So Aragorn, deal out shadow cards. Now we're going to block the Urakai captain with Boromir. No shadow, no damage. Then we're going to block the Urakai hunter with Gimli. Oh, this is nice to get rid of. I do not like that card. That's the only reason why I had put this card in my deck, is to get rid of that. And now we can spend 1 resource to ready up Gimli. Ready up Legolas with Gimli's ability. So, now we're going to attack the Urakai captain, raising our threat by 1 with Boromir's effect. So we're attacking for 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. And now we're going to, Gimli's going to join in the mix. So this is destroyed. And we get to put 2 progress onto River Anduin. And Boromir's we're going to exhaust the weapon and draw 3 cards with the bow hammer. We're going to heal up 1 with the contract. And now we're going to, Gimli's ready, so we're going to attack and destroy the Urakai hunter and put 2 more progress onto the River Anduin. Going to the next round, raise each player's threat by 1. Each hero gets a resource. Draw a card. Open the armory. We're going to play Unexpected Courage onto Aragorn. Now we're going to play Open the Armory. And I get to search the top 10 cards on my deck for a weapon or armor attachment. And put it into my hand. I'm going to get Sting. Now we're going to play Sting and put it onto Pippin. So he gets +1 willpower, attack, and defense. And he gets another willpower for having another restricted attachment. And now we're going to go over to the Boromir deck, draw a card, Unexpected Courage. We're going to put a Hobbit pony onto Merry. Now we're going to play an Unexpected Courage onto Boromir. Now we go to the questing phase. We're going to quest for a total of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Urakai Tracker, Surge. Orcs of the White Hand. Remove all damage from each enemy at this stage, and each enemy at this stage gets +1 threat, attack, and defense until the end of the round. So there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 threat in the staging area. So we quested successfully by 6. So we cleared the River Anduin, and we discard 5 cards. And there's Frodo's Choice. So as soon as Frodo's Choice is revealed or discarded, we put Frodo into play. We go to stage 4A. We add Parrot's Galison to the staging area. And if it's in the quest phase, we end the quest phase for this stage. I'm going to still leave this out just to remind me that the enemies get +1. Now we go over to the Vormir deck. We are going to quest for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quest for a total of 5. Reveal a card, Wooded Shoreline. So the quest is for 5, and there's 6 in the staging area, but we're going to add Mary for 5 more. So we quest a total of 10. And that puts 4 progress onto the River Anduin. And we get to ready all our heroes for the Boromir deck. Now we're going to travel. No, we're not going to travel at all. We engage the Urakai Tracker. Deal a shadow card. We're going to block with Gimli. No shadow, no damage. Now we're going to attack back with Gimli and destroy him, and we get to put 2 progress onto the main quest. Now we go to the next round and raise each player's threat by 1. Each hero gets a resource. Now we get the willpower bonus back because we have Frodo in play. And the 300 deck cannot lose control of the first player token. We get to draw a card. Ancestral Armor. We're going to put the Clavering Stone onto Frodo, giving him +3 willpower. Now we're going to go over to the Boromir deck, draw a card, Hasty Stroke. We're going to play the Citadel Plate and put that onto Frodo, giving him +4 hit points. Now we're going to use the contract to heal up 1 damage from each hero. And we had to do 2 archery, so I was put this back. And there was 2 archery that had to go over here. But we would have healed it away with the contract. And here we have to reveal an extra encounter card per player during that staging step. So a total of 3 cards. And the Boromir deck can engage an enemy that's revealed and raises threat by that enemy's threat. So we're going to quest for 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, ready him. And then we're going to quest with Gimli for 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, ready him up. And quest with Legolas for 6, so it's 21. And then Frodo adds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so we're to 27. And there's a total of 8 in the staging area. Urakai Archer. Another Urakai Archer. And a Wooded Shoreline. So we quest for 27. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, 13 in the stage area. Quested successfully are 14. Now we're going to use Aragorn's ability to reduce the Wooded Shoreline down to 0 and put 1 progress on it. So now we quest successfully by 17. So we're going up to 18. Now we go over to the Boromir deck. We're going to quest for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to quest for 6. Seed of Seeing. Well, then we're going to add Mary to the quest with Exhausting Build a Pony. So we add another 5. Add number 6, we're up to 12, and there is a total of 7, so we quest successfully by 5. So that clears the River Anduin. And now we're not going to engage. We're not going to engage any characters. Actually, we could travel to the slopes of Amon Hen and then engage the Urakai Archer. and or travel to the slopes of Am and Hen. So the Urakai archer, we're going to block it with Legolas. With Gimli. And ready up Legolas. Discard a non-ejective attachment. Well, we're going to get rid of the 3 golden hairs. That's what's nice about those attachments. Now we're going to attack back with Legolas and destroy the Urakai archer and put 2 progress onto the slopes of Am and Hen. We also had a total of 2, 4, 5, 6 archery. We're going to be putting 3 onto Frodo, 1 onto Legolas, 1 onto Gimli, and 1 onto Aragorn. On this side we had 2 archery. We're going to put 1 onto Merry, 1 onto Pippin, and then we're going to heal off 1 from each hero with the contract. We also readied each character with the guarding the hobbits. And we raised our threat by 1. And go to the next round. Draw a card. Shadow of the Past. Each hero gets a resource. Going over to the Boromir deck, draw a card, Foe Hammer. Go to the quest phase. We're going to tap quest again. We'll quest for 27 again. Card number 1, Urakai. We're going to have it make an immediate attack. We're going to block with Gimli. No shadow, no damage. Urakai archer. And fallen to evil. We're going to attach that to Legolas. And that takes off 6 from the quest. So we're down to 21 and add 6 to the threat in the staging area. Bringing it up to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we quest successfully by 3. We're going to use Aragorn's ability to put 1 progress onto the Wooded Shoreline to quest successfully by 6. So that explores the slopes of Am and Hen. It puts 5 progress onto the ring bearer. Sets out. Then we're also going to play the Power of Orthanc to raise each player's threat by 2. And remove Fallen into Evil. Now we're going to go over to the Boromir deck, and we're going to quest with each character. We don't need to quest with Merry. So we're questing for a total of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. River Anduin. So there's a total of 8 in the staging area, so it quests successfully by 4. And now we're going to exhaust the pony to add 6 more, so it quests successfully by 10. That explores the Seat of Seeing. And while Seat of Seeing is explored, choose a burden in play in the encounter deck or discard pile and remove it from the game. Shuffle the encounter deck. If you are playing campaign mode, remove that from the card from the campaign pool. And we're going to choose the Pursued by the Enemy. Now we're going to travel to the Paris Galison, and we have to search the encounter deck and discard pile for an enemy and add it to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter deck. We're going to add the Urakai tracker since it doesn't gain, we can ignore the surge. So that's, we have a total of, we're going to engage the Urakai Hunter and the Urakai Tracker. And we have a total of archery 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First, we're going to ready a damage from each hero. And now we're going to add 2 to Frodo, 1 to Legolas, 2 to Gimli, and 1 to Aragorn. And there's 2 archery on the Boromir, Ducker, and Adamos, and then take them off with the contract. So we're traveling to the Seat of Ammon, the River Anduin. So deal out shadow cards. We're going to block with Gimli. Attacking enemy makes an additional attack. We're going to be readying and removing this. Now we're going to block with Gimli. Makes another additional attack. We were readying all these characters after they quested with the Guard of the Hobbits because there's no need to ready them over here because of there's nothing engaging. Now we're going to play the Seat of the Shadow of the Pass and put this on top of the encounter deck. And now we're going to block with Gimli and the last, we have 1 more block we can do with Gimli, and we'll block this last one for 4. Because we canceled one of those shadow effects that I just realized that made an additional attack. Okay, so now we go to the next round. We're going to actually attack with Legolas and destroy this, and then ready and attack and destroy that. So we put, and this is immune, so we can't put any progress on it. Go to the next round and raise each player's threat by 1. Draw a card. Black arrow. Go to this 300's deck. The Boromir deck. Draw a card. Golden belt. I'm not even going to put out resources because I know this is going to be the last round and I don't need them. I'm going to heal 1 damage from each hero. Now I'm going to quest with everyone for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Gildorn Glorian, Black Feathered Arrow, and at the end of the stage, engage all enemies engage the first player. And it's not gain Surge, and now the Orcs of the White Hand. So the total in the staging area is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we quest successfully by 17. That clears the Paris Galison, and we win the game. So this card is now removed from the campaign pool by successfully doing the Seats of Seeing. And I would say the MVPs in this deck, for the Vormir deck, I would say it was the Golden Shield, and the 300s deck, I'm going to say was the Unexpected Courage. So now we have a total score: 60, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 145, 148, minus off 3, so 145. And now we go to the resolution. If Fallen into Evil is attached to a hero, added to the list of fallen heroes. So it's not attached. The first player chooses followed by Night or Ill Fate and added to the campaign pool. I'm going to choose Ill Fate. And then each player chooses one hero he controls, other than the Ring Bearer, and add it to make him captive, and add it to the campaign log. Since I'm playing thematic, I'm not going by the official rules where you have to pick one hero from each side. I'm going to be changing heroes, and I'm going to pick thematically Merry and Pippin as the captives. So I'll see you in the Urakai, where we have to pursue those hobbits. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.